Today we're making ribs. We're gonna use this gold barbecue sauce, Kansas City sauce. This is sweet and smoky. And then this one is the Memphis sweet and tangy. And we also have tangy and peppery Texas barbecue sauce. Let's just add that on both sides. Let me grab the brush. Get it all in. And we're gonna glaze them a few times while they're cooking, just to give it a little bit more flavor. I don't do any other seasoning, just the barbecue sauce. Puppies are eating, they're hungry. It's storming today. The weather is very, very cold. And it's raining really bad all day. But I like this weather. I actually don't mind it. It's kind of romantic. Okay. See different colors? One is red, this one is a little bit more brown. I think it's a little bit more brown sugar in here, or maybe molasses. So it's gonna be sweet and peppery. It's really, really good to have a few different flavors to try. Let me wash my hands really fast. We're gonna make some mashed potatoes and grilled broccoli with this meal. And we also have ice cream for after dinner. We love chocolate mint ice cream, and my son loves Oreo cookies and cream ice cream. Okay, so this one is a little bit more orange than that one. This one is more brown. Okay, here we go. Just smear that around. I will put the foil on top. One more piece. I want to make the bottle sticky. So I always wash my hands and have this towel hanging right here all the time. Oh, let's see. Okay, let me turn this around so you guys can see it. This one is a little bit more liquidy than that one. The consistency of the other one is just a little bit thicker, but they all smell good. I'm gonna glaze them a few times while they're cooking. Probably I'll cook it for 30 minutes and then I'll glaze it again before I broil it on top. And everybody makes ribs differently. I make mine super fast way. Just very simple, kind of country style. I wish I could make my own barbecue sauce. Probably would be much healthier and tastier. I am just not talented to make sauce. But this will work. Everybody will be happy. Let's see. Okay, oven's on. I think the girls are done eating. Both of them are just trying to figure out what I'm doing. Right, Coco? You trying to figure out what we're cooking? Smells good? Lily, you want to figure out what we're cooking? I'm in my cozy loungewear, so I'm comfortable. Not really going anywhere today. You hear that thunder? Ooh. There we go. Okay, once the oven warms up, we're just gonna put this in the oven for 30 minutes and then brush it again and then we can broil it on top. All right, see you in a bit. I don't use a peeler. I always just use, I think it's called a fruit knife, something like it's very small, very tiny. And for mashed potatoes, I don't like to use young potatoes. I'd rather use like russet potato. It says restaurant style. Not sure what restaurant style for potato means, but these are good for baking too. And I love, as you know, making my baked potatoes. For many, many years in Lithuania, I mean, we do eat a lot of potatoes, and my grandpa used to grow potatoes, and we did potato harvesting every fall, which was a lot of fun. I absolutely loved it. But we didn't really have a fancy peeler or anything like that, not that I remember. So I always just cut off the parts that are not good first. So, you know, just gotta make sure you get the brown stuff out. And yeah, I just kind of peel it like this with a small knife. We used to have, when I went to camps when I was younger, believe it or not, there was a lot of kids in the camps. So the teams in the camp, you know, they would create the teams and team competitions for peeling potatoes, who's gonna do the fastest. Everything was made fresh when I was younger, you know, on our camps. And you had the ladies cooking every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There was no snacks, really. Snacking is really not something that we had at all in Lithuania. I mean, the biggest snack, well, a treat probably, was ice cream. You know, but we still had to go to the store and get a little thing of ice cream. It's not like they were selling by the gallon. Like here, you had a little portion, and once in a while you would go to the store, walk there, whether with your mom, your sibling, or, you know, mom sometimes would bring it from the store. But it was just a treat, and we didn't have that many snacks. But yeah, we ate a lot of potatoes, and a lot of dishes in Lithuania are made out of potatoes. So we learned how to peel them super fast. This is actually, I'm doing it pretty slow, but a lot of people are super fast with their knives, and I can eat a potato 100 different ways. If you give me a potato, I'll never go hungry. Potato, onions, carrots, beets, cabbages, zucchini, you know, that type of things. My mom had a garden, and we used to grow kind of our vegetables, and we had a fruit garden too. But we always, all summer, we had everything fresh. So when the potatoes were fresh, we would get them and either make stews or pancakes. Oh, potato pancakes are so good. I love it with sour cream. We have a Lithuanian dish that's called cepelinai, and that's potato dumpling. It's a lot of work to make it, but all Lithuanians know what I'm talking about. It's delicious. So my kids love Lithuanian food. My daughter probably was introduced to it a little bit more than my son, because when he was little, he couldn't eat. He had a lot of allergies and other problems with kind of like just ability to swallow the food. So we were a little bit more careful with what he was eating. But my daughter, she just loves Lithuanian food. She's actually coming next week. So her and Jamie will be here. And the first thing, when the girls come to town, they want me to make Lithuanian beet soup with meatballs. It's a Ukrainian dish, I think, but you know, that dish is made all over Eastern Europe in the different varieties. But the way I make it, the girls just love it, and I buy the dark Lithuanian rye bread to have it with the soup. You have to have dark Lithuanian bread with the soup. And then in the summer, we make a cold beet soup, but the beets are marinated. And it's a totally different dish. It's not cooked, but it's very refreshing when it's hot outside. So everyone loves making cold beet soup. It's called šaltibarščiai. And maybe I'll make it for you guys through the summer. I got some chocolate ready. They always love to go through the cupboards and see what we have for a dinner after treat. Potatoes are washed. Now just cut it up. I don't use a cutting board, nothing fancy. I just split them in half and then in half one more time. And I just cut them into small pieces. They cook faster, they cook more evenly. We don't really have Easter plans these days. The kids are grown up. They used to love doing the Easter egg hunt with their friends. Sometimes we would have Easter egg hunt in the backyard. That was great memories. We didn't have anything in Lithuania with like an Easter bunny or anything like that. We would color our Easter eggs different colors. A lot of hand painted with like wax, traditional style eggs. We would do the coloring with either beets, so you boil beets and then you put eggs in the beet juice that turns red and you color the eggs with that. Sometimes we would wrap the eggs in leaves and it would create like a really nice design on the egg with flowers and stuff. So there's multiple ways to do the Easter eggs. And I have some wooden ones that my mom gave me. It's on the table. Let me show you. So these are wooden ones, but it would be very similar design to this that, back in the day, a lot of women in the country would hand paint these with wax. And then that's how they would come out with different colors. But yeah, these are so pretty. And I really like these. So I keep them on the table for Easter. This one is a little box. I got it from France as a gift, and I keep that with my little eggs here in this little basket. So it's on the table before Easter. Okay, let's put the ribs in the oven. Oh, I forgot to take my... This is what I do. I always forget to take the rest of the stuff out. Now it's gonna be so hot. Oh, it is too hot. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can add it on here so it doesn't do any damage. All right, safety first. Put your gloves on. And put the ribs in here. All right, all done. Okay, I'm gonna finish cutting up my potatoes and then I'll see you in a bit when broccoli is ready. All right, potatoes are cooking. I just ignore the wet belly. I just wash the broccoli and I tend to mess things up all the time. Oh my god, I need an apron. I think apron would definitely help me. Anyhow, so I'm gonna cut up the broccoli to about this size. I usually cut it in half first and then just split it like this and then split it again. I keep as much of it as I can, so kind of like bigger bites like this, there we go. I will steam them first so they're still crunchy, and then after they're steamed we're gonna put a little bit of butter in the skillet, just a tiny bit, and then I'll melt the butter with some seasoning. Probably will be a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit cayenne pepper, since I don't really use the black pepper. I sneeze a lot after I use the black pepper, and I learned that if I don't use it, I don't have sneezing. So cayenne pepper doesn't really bother me at all, and I like the flavor. And we'll use some smoked paprika too on top of that. So it's gonna be, the butter is gonna be very flavorful, and we're just gonna toss the broccoli for just a little flavor on top. So kind of restaurant style broccoli, I would say, but very, very simple. It takes 5 minutes. Steaming doesn't take that long at all. Cutting it up doesn't really take that long. It's pretty simple. I would usually do green beans, but we had green beans the last few times for dinner, and I make them a few different ways. So I figured broccoli would be a good change today. Sometimes I make broccoli with some carrots. Sometimes I like broccoli with roasted red pepper. That's really good. Broccoli and mushrooms. That's delicious. Broccoli and just crispy onions. That's also very, very nice. You can make broccoli like you can make potato 100 different ways, and it will never get boring.
Dusty gravel lanes and the sun sinking low. Fields of barley swaying where the wildflowers grow. Grandma's porch light shining through the evening dusk. Country roads forever, in these memories we trust. Blue Ridge Mountains calling where the river's bend. Echoes of an old song where our hearts intend. Pine trees tall and whisper secrets from the past. Country roads forever, may their spirit always last. Take me back to country roads where time moves slow, where the heart an old song, where our hearts intend. Pine trees tall and whisper secrets from the past. Country roads forever, may their spirit always last. Take me back to country roads where time moves slow, where the heart and soul find peace and love can